Good morning, everybody. Today is January 7th, 2026. It is 9:51 a.m. It is also video 493, and my second walk is going to be 494. All right, so let's get started. Oh, and today's Wednesday. I almost forgot to mention that. Let me see. Shouldn't be too soon. Okay, so if this is the first time you've walked backwards, watch any of my treadmill walking talks, then you know that the incline is 15. Today's speed, I would really love for it to be 2.5, but I'm not sure if I want to push this treadmill to do that. At least not inclined and not with me on it. So I would love to get it to 3. But if you watch some of my other videos I made earlier this week, you will know why I don't push it to do that. Okay, so let's see. And I think I would have to pick a speed that I would say, okay, that's it. I'm not going to push it any further. And before that was 2.6. I don't think I was able to get it up to 2.7 to run correctly. Like I said, not inclined and with me on it. And it's fast at 3. In the beginning, I was able to get it up to that and it would work just fine. But that quickly came to an end. It's 1.6. Seven. Two point oh. 2.3. 2.4. Should I do it, you guys? Oh my goodness. If I do 2.5 right now, I have to do 2.5 on my next walk. Okay. 2.5. All right. Today's topic. Well, first, actually, we have to go over the update. So, my update is that I received a text this morning stating that my prescription sunglasses are ready. And so, like I said in some other videos before this, earlier this week or last week, I'm nervous because even though I picked the lighter of the 2 shades of black, I am thinking they still might be too dark. And the problem is my other prescription glasses do not have my prescription in them and they are too light. So they're okay to walk around with, And that noise you hear is the garbage truck. Okay, so just ignore the squeals of the brakes. But yes, driving, if it is, I don't even know how to describe the brightness, but basically if it's too bright, then I can't wear them. So I'm excited to have these glasses. I'm just worried. I now do think that if I had did the same darkness as the lens that was taken out of them, they would be too dark, despite the fact that I get them polarized and have my prescription in them. But like I said, I'm still thinking even the lighter that would be more, like even closer to like a dark gray almost, is gonna be too dark. So, oh no, it's not gonna be good because it's $90 for polarized prescription sunglasses where I get them from. But I had to have a thinner lens, and so that pushed the price up to like $169 just for the lens. So yeah, I'm worried, but we'll see. So my next update is going to be about them maybe Saturday, because I think we're gonna get them Friday, and then I can tell you guys what's the verdict, what happened. Of course, I'm gonna test them out if it's sunny enough. Okay, so the main topic for today is what is it like to have, and I know I'm gonna say this wrong, a Jaguar F-Type first edition. And I believe our car will also be classified as a coupe, if not scratch the last part. And I know it's Jaguar, right? That's about as close as I'm gonna get to saying it correctly. But we'll just say the Jag to make it easier. So I'm going to tell you the good, the bad, and the ugly. Okay, so let's get the bad stuff, or it's not bad, but it could be better stuff out of the way. Number one is space. Okay, so I am 5'6½", possibly a little taller than that. I have long legs. If I were any taller, then I would not be able to fit. My seat is all the way to the back. Also, getting in, I feel like maybe I should never have stopped doing yoga or maybe even Pilates, because my joke is I feel like an origami. Okay, so getting in is difficult. You have to be able to bend very easily. Getting out is worse. I always think to myself, duck. So yes, it's difficult getting out, and I use the steering wheel to help quite often. I don't even think, even if there were those handles in there, some people call them grab handles, some people hang, let's say, clothes or something on them, especially the handles in the back. Let's say if it were a car or SUV, but it doesn't have those anyway, and I don't think they would be very helpful. I think they will break. Okay, so difficult getting in and out. The space above my head when I'm sitting is fine. The space in between me and the passenger is okay as well. Another thing is you have to get really creative if you want to have a cell phone holder. Okay, depending on how it's made, you might not have the horizontal vents that you need. And I don't believe, if I remember correctly, that there are any vertical either, except for by the doors. And that is too close to the steering wheel. So I know what you're probably thinking. Don't you have navigation on your car? I actually don't remember. But I have found it's easier to navigate from my phone. So I did put a phone holder in there, but I had to use some Velcro straps to secure it, and the phone doesn't always stay. Even though the holder is cute, it's a cat. It's black. I don't know if you want to call it a panther, if you want to pretend like it's a Jaguar, which I've seen. They said that they're not that common, and they still have, I think, the spots on them. They're really pretty. I've seen them on TV. But whatever you want to call it, it only helps some of the time. Too hard of a bump, a speed bump, a dip, a turn, especially since it rotates and it was meant to clip onto the part of your dashboard that's above your speedometer, which if I do that, it would be in my way. The fact that it can swivel with it pretty much upright like that is not a good thing. Excuse me. I was really hoping that it would work better because, okay, so I might sound a little crazy, but I want to get kind of unique with it. I love dressing up my car, is what I call it. And so I bought those diamonds that are on the strip of sticky paper, and I made a little collar. Okay, so I thought this is gonna be great. And I remember the first time my phone fell, I can't remember if it fell into the cup holder, but it did fall. At least it didn't fall down by my feet. Okay, the other thing is the space in between the steering wheel and my legs. Not a lot of space. And I haven't even tried to address the steering wheel, but if I make it go up, it's gonna be in the way. So the only thing I could try is to see if it telescopes inward, but that still wouldn't change the spacing that is above my legs. So I have to be really careful driving it. Another thing is the cup holders. They're not that deep. And I have bought some cup holder mats. I forgot what they're called. They were too thick, and so I wasn't able to use them. I had never seen them that thick for a car anyway. They were cute. They were tires. They had the tread and everything. But yeah, too thick. And so luckily, I discovered that with a bottle of water and not a regular cup of, let's say, soda or something like that, or a cup of water, because the bottle tilted out of the cup holder. So bye-bye cup holder mat. Coasters, there's the name. So yeah, I thought about trying to cut them in half to make them thinner. That didn't work either. And so I probably would have to use the ones that I also found on Amazon that are thin like paper. But I thought, forget it for now. I'll just leave it alone. And so I would still say they're not deep enough. Okay, so I'm happy that they hold. I just think that they should have been deeper. It may be wider as well. Another thing is all the auto stuff it can do. So it has that rain sensor, the automatic, and I had to discover the way you turn that off. And why would you want it off? Car wash. Is that you have to pull it down. Okay, at least on mine. It's a 2021. So anything else I read to do just made it either wipe faster or it didn't turn off the automatic sensor. And then also the auto headlights, when it needs to be brighter. I still have yet to research how to stop it from doing that. And to be able to change the brightness myself to the fact that they're going to bright lights. The rotating thing doesn't stay in place. I don't know if it's supposed to, but once you pull it to where you want it, it flies back to where it was. It's on the setting that you picked. It just doesn't stay clicked there. And so I had no idea that it could do that. It picked the most inopportune time to do that. I was driving home early one morning when I had first got it. And, when we first got it. And we weren't sure, one of our friends and I, what was going on outside. It looked like a marine layer, but I think it was dust. So I made it past the checkpoint, everything like that. There was a patrol car on the middle median thing, you know, the dirt thing in the middle of the freeway, right? And yes, the dust got thicker. So, my car's name is Max, short for Maximus. Max decides, let's turn on the brakes. Boom, flash the patrol car, but I was okay. I didn't get pulled over, but I thought, that is the most inopportune time to find out that it can do that. I know what you're probably thinking, maybe you should have read the manual a little bit more, but I didn't. So, thankfully, nothing happened. I just continued on my way, and I made it home. And so, thinking about that, I think I'm going to research how to stop that, if you can. That is not good for it to automatically do that. Although, I will say, it's pretty accurate. It's almost like it's when I would have done it anyway, but I want to be the one to do that. All those auto assists, I don't like them. So, I believe it has side assist, but I am so happy, so far as I know, it doesn't have brake assist or front assist or anything like that. Now that I think about it, I need to double check that. Okay, so we're at 18 minutes and 3 seconds. This next one's not exactly a bad thing. I would like for the door that covers, I don't want to call it a glass roof, but a good portion of it is glass. It does not open, so it does not tilt up or slide back. And the door, like I said, is manual. And being that you're in such a small space, you can easily reach it and close it. I like to keep mine open, but I do wish it was electrical, except that would be one more thing that could go wrong later. And so I'm kind of happy that not only does the glass not open, but I control the door that covers the glass roof, whatever you want to call it. Getting into the car, I don't think there's a way to permanently have it set. Maybe it's something as simple as an auto reconnect, but you know how cars are. If you're on an auto reconnect and your Bluetooth is always on your phone, you get in, and sometimes even before you sit down, what's the first thing that happens? Music. And sometimes some cars will lower the volume to a safe volume. Some of them leave the volume to where it's at, where you left it. So I don't have it set to auto reconnect with the car, but the problem with that is you get in and you hear static, and the volume is where you left it, so you get that noise, right? And super annoying. Even though I'm used to it and I don't jump, it's loud and it's there. Even if I were to turn down the volume, then I have to remind myself to connect to my phone so that it won't do that, and hope that it won't start playing music. Trying to think of the connections too as well. Yeah, that was it about that. I was thinking. The other thing is that auto start and stop. I still think it's a waste. Some people say, no, you save on gas. Before you guys get all upset in the comments and say that, or whatever else. If you say, oh, I prefer it, I like it, that's one thing. But if you can like it, I cannot. Keep it in mind. I don't like how I have to turn that off every time. It doesn't happen as often as it does in one of our other vehicles, but it is annoying to have to turn it off all the time. The good thing is you're so close to everything, you can reach it. As a matter of fact, it's right in front of the cup holders. Okay, so the one thing I thought, we're going to go into the good, that I thought would be difficult to take care of is the leather. I believe the leather is Windsor leather. And I know that you have to give special care to it. And so switching to leather cleaning products for real leather was not the problem. I use Jaguar's, and it smells really nice. So surprisingly, it has not been as much of a pain as I thought. And also, they have the cleaner for the plastic, so I use that as well. That gives it a nice shine. And I also was able to customize it. So the interior is really nice. I love all the red. The seats are completely red, but I put seat covers over them. I have yet to take them off. My husband did have to cut a hole because there's a strap that is there with the seat belt. And so that strap had to fit through the seat covers. Now again, you're probably gonna say, oh no, you cover up leather. I think there's a thought, I don't know if this is true, that has to be able to breathe. And so I am worried, what condition will the seats be in when I take the covers off to clean them again. And of course I put them on because I don't want to ruin the seats. But the good thing is the seat covers there is an oval ring, I think it's made of metal, that's like right where your neck would be, or the bottom of your head, and I didn't want to get burned by that. So even though I like the design that you can see through that part right underneath the headrest, I am happy that the seat covers actually cover that up. Because if I'm right, that would be not good, that would hurt. And then the trim. Just like most vehicles, I was able to customize the trim. And they have something odd going on. So they have black, chrome, and what I was told was like maybe a brushed nickel. I have not a clue why they picked it. If it had been black and chrome for the trim, I would have been fine with it. But it just threw everything off. And of course, the thickest of the trim was that brushed nickel or whatever it was. And so I covered as much of it as I could with black trim. I wanted all my interior to be black and red. So that was pretty easy. It was just the pieces. You clean whatever trim you're going to use, or use the cover on, and then you pull off the paper, the red paper, and you stick it right on there. And so it gave it a nice touch. I cleaned it, polished it up with the Jaguar's shine spray for ABS, for the plastic, and I was good to go. So I liked that it was easy. I even did it with the cup holder door. It was, or I should say it is black, but it was fading, and I didn't like that. Now, the Jaguar spray would have taken care of that, but I put a cover on that as well. And like I said, everything came from Amazon, so it was easy to do. I actually have videos, so maybe I will put the link to those videos in the description box of this one. And it just gave the car a whole new look. I love it. So now, the only thing that's going to be exposed is the chrome. Okay, so we're at 27 minutes and 7 seconds. The rearview mirror has where you can control 3 different garage doors. And it actually, surprisingly, was easy to program. So I've programmed it and I haven't had any problems. I'm thinking floor mats. I think it came with some. They were the carpet, the material. And if I remember correctly, I want to say I bought some. They were like WeatherTech, but I don't remember. I think I did. Yes, I did. Because I take them out and I clean them and I put them back in. So I do like that, even though, and I won't say that a Jag is a rare car. I would have to say that I'm just happy that it's been easy to find things to customize it inside, like anything else, like a Volkswagen or anything else, including the steering wheel cover. The steering wheel cover, or the steering wheel I should say, oh, here goes my nose, is circular, and I do wish that it was D-shaped, so I would have a little bit more room. above my legs. Not quite sure why they did not do that. I know, kind of awkward. And I've never bought a steering wheel before. I wanted a yoke steering wheel, but I don't know how it would be to drive that. Because every now and then, I still do the hand over hand when I'm turning, the way I was taught to drive. And so, if you think about it, and I mean like maybe, probably not so much when you're turning, but like when you're making a U-turn, that might not go so well. Because what if I think I have a hold of the other side and I don't? I mean, you don't stare at your steering wheel when you're turning, you're looking at everything else. So the yoke steering wheel idea kind of ended up going bye-bye. I said, I don't think that's a good idea. And it's expensive. And what if it ruins another part of the system? The paddle shifters, I have yet to use them. They were that brush nickel as well. So I covered it. And I didn't go with the traditional covers because those, what they actually do is they cover the back, but they're almost like adding an extension. So they go out longer than the top and the bottom of the paddle shifters. And you're already in a smaller space than what you're probably used to. And so I actually use the pinstripe. So it looks awkward, I'm not gonna lie. It doesn't have that nice, smooth, clean look to it that a cover would have had if I had found one that could cover the actual shifter and still have the plus and minus on there, or if I had changed them completely, but at least now it's black and it matches more. I'm more concerned with the fact that I want new rims. I don't know what's going on with them. I'm wondering, is that rubber paint? Or is it just paint peeling itself? I'm not quite sure. But I don't think, and I could be wrong, it could be the original paint, but I don't think that the rims were originally black from the previous owner. So they just, I don't know. That could even be a wrap, now that I think about it. But from what I can tell, the rim itself is not black. So whatever that is, it's peeling in certain spots. And I'm kind of excited if I were to do that. I might just leave them alone, but you know how you notice things that other people don't because you see something every day? And I've been told, a perfectionist. I don't like that about myself. But then again, the fact that I'm paying that close attention to detail is good because you also have to pay attention to your tires as well. And so it's not like it was something that I wasn't going to notice anyway. I mean, they're all right there. And then the tire caps, I've been told that they're not too heavy for the stems, but I don't like how they kind of like hang down a little bit. And I don't mean they don't bend like this, but they kind of like this. And it looks like maybe they weren't stocked with the car, that somebody wants to be creative. They look like tires, but not chrome, not even brushed nickel, more like a shiny gray almost. They're not exactly black. They're getting there, but you can tell that they're not black. And so, me being that person that pays attention to detail, I think I might want to change them. Even though I think the center of them has the name of the car, I just don't like them. I think they're too big and they're too noticeable. I think I'd rather have them black. So that might be the first thing that I would do, because that's something that will be easy. I could look at AutoZone or buy from Amazon. So I guess I'm not exactly finished customizing the car to my liking just yet. Okay, we're 35 minutes, 32 seconds. And then the color. Okay, so the car is black, but for some reason, after the Jetta I had some years back, I can't seem to get a black car that does not have the sparkles in it, the glitter. And even though it's pretty, even though when it's in the shade, it just looks like the black I want it to be, I wanted that black even out in the sun. I want more of a piano black, because I don't like how the sparkles in it, there's so much of it that it almost looks a dark gray. And so the SUV I had before that was kind of the same, and I don't like that about it. The Jaguar in the back is black gloss, and I know those are just added on, but let's just say the previous owner or whoever they bought it from, like the car lot, added that on there. I'm not quite sure why they didn't black gloss everything else. You know, like when you get a car with a blackout kit that's already on it from the dealership. So I want to, I can't say chrome delete because there's no chrome on the outside. Well, actually, the front badge, yes. The Jaguar, and I think the name, the circle's red. I actually don't like that. I want it black, the whole thing. I don't mind the red, but including the car, everything else, the front grille, is black. So I want to change it, and everyone, including my husband's like, no, it looks nice. But to me, I think it will look nicer. I'll leave it alone and just focus on the rims, because I don't even want to begin to know the price of them. And even though I know how to black out the rims myself, the paint's a rubber paint. It'll probably come out with a matte finish, and I'll be upset because I want a black gloss. So that's not going to work. Getting it painted black gloss might be the cheapest way to go. So let's do another time check. Okay, we're at 38 minutes, 28 seconds. The last thing I probably should have, one would be in the list of what I call bad or just the not good stuff. And one would be, it's just something that we experience. So one of the things is the looks. It's not just when I pull up or when I'm driving, especially when they're coming straight toward me, and they're supposed to be in their lane in the opposite direction. It is, okay, for example, I had experience, I was at a business establishment I was inside, but we could see outside, and a car was passing by slowly, looking at it, rolling down windows, and then proceeded to park across the street. Well, I went outside and was like, just looking like, okay, what are we doing? That's creepy, right? I haven't had that happen since, but that was, if you're watching this video and you know it was you, I'm sorry, but that was creepy. I would have just have enjoyed the video of your car and kept it pushing. So if you have a habit of doing that, that's scary, okay? You're gonna do what you want, but please think about the other person that owns the car. And so in the beginning, I was like, oh my gosh, what did I do? Because I picked it, right? My husband has his sports car. All the cars are ours. But the main one he drives, this is the main one I drive. So it wasn't just, what did I do to him? It was like, what did I do to myself? It was just gaining or grabbing too much attention. And you would think that would have been obvious, but no. When you get a car, as you know, you base it off of your likes and different reasons why you want it. I just wish, in the beginning, I don't feel that way now, that I had thought about that. My SUV, people loved it. That's not a Volkswagen. Yeah, it is. My Nissan, that's not a Nissan. It was a Maxima. Yes, it is. And I blacked it out with that rubber paint and painted the calipers. And the Volkswagen, the black Jetta I had, my first black car, that's not a Volkswagen. Yeah, it is. And so you would think I'd be used to it by now, but this grabs way more attention. It's fun to sit there and talk to people about it though. Another thing is price. A lot of people will say, it's no one's business. I don't disagree with them, but I'm gonna flat out say this. It did not cost $80,000 or 70, or if you've seen some for 90, no. If that was the price, it would have stayed at the car lot. So our rule of thumb is, if we want to have a second vehicle, let's say maybe even the third, get rid of one. It's almost like a job. You don't get a new one until you already, backwards. You don't get rid of the new one until you already have a new one in mind. So the thing with the job is, they say you don't get rid of your job until you have another one, right? So for us, we follow that concept. Also, use, if it's in good condition, what's the problem? I mean, if something major is wrong, you'll know when you first drive it, within the first week. And then the miles, 40,000, kind of pushing it, but then again, that's not a lot for it being 2021. So it was priced very well. And I'll just say this, it was just a little bit more than half of what you think. Less than that number, okay? So that's the other thing, is that you get looked at like, oh, you must have a lot of money. I mean, you can afford something like that. And you're sitting there thinking, well, people that don't know you, they don't know you better. It's not their fault. But people that do know you, especially, come on, me, I love a discount. I don't like paying full price for anything. I don't care how expensive it looks. I don't care how expensive it would have been. Keywords would have been. It wasn't. Or else, like I said, it can stay right where it was. Be it a car, clothes, a watch, anything. Okay, so I'll just say that. No. Look at my face. I'm serious. It was not that expensive. Okay, so when I over here, just rolling up. All right, we're at 44 minutes, 30 seconds. Oops. Calories in this, that's time. 44 minutes, 38 seconds in time. 1.79 in distance, 192 calories. But yes, with that said, we're very strategic in anything that we buy, any trips that we take, and even just regular stuff around the house. Sales, sales, sales. Discounts, points, cash back, miles from credit cards. Rakuten, CapitalOneShopping.com. If it can give a discount, then we're possibly aware of it, or at least the things that we tell people about. Okay, so I did feel the need to say that. I know a lot of people say, why are you even worried about that? It's not me being worried. I am just doing what? What was the main topic for today? What is it like to have a Jaguar F-Type first edition coupe? That is, where's my nose again? Excuse me. You think doing this helps? No, it doesn't. But yes, that is what the topic was. So that is what it's like. It does take some getting used to. It is fun to talk about. I had like the best conversation, I think it was yesterday, and we were just vibing, and it was like, real quick, I even told them, so the lot that we went to, and I thought, I think you got the number wrong, you should look it up on your phone, but they had one, and it has 76,000 miles on it. You might consider that a lot, you may not, but I think it was like 26,000. Yeah, and I know that's a lot, but for a Jaguar 21 F-Type, first edition, I don't think so. And I said, oh no, I think the price actually was like 21,000. Okay, so somewhere in between there. I do want to, I guess, give a big shout out to and a thank you to Beamer Haas in Mesa, Arizona, which is where we got it from. They are very polite, very helpful. They have great customer service, and that's where the other one is sitting. It is black, but it's not blacked out. So if not the grill, the circle around it is chrome, and some other things on it are chrome. And I think the interior is all black. I could be wrong, but if they still have it, then great. If you want one, I mean, check out their website. And so it's Beamer, Beemer, Haas, I believe, Haus. I might be spelling that wrong. .com or something like that. But yeah, if you live in Mesa or somewhere near there in Arizona, then stop by and check them out. They actually have two, but the other one is priced a little closer to what we paid. It's still not 80,000, okay, but it is more than the 21 or 26,000. Okay, so yes, thank you guys for your great customer service, and to all of the viewers, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a great day. I think I drank most of my water. Yes, I did. It's almost empty. So I'm going to go take my break and come back out here and knock out this other walk. I will see you guys later. Have a great day. Bye.